So I did this weird thing. I got to undo this thing, but I set myself to mute every time I come into a Zoom meeting. And now I forget and I go on live on Facebook and I start chatting and I'm muted. Anyway, good morning, everybody. It is Friday morning. It is Fun Funnel Friday. And today we are talking about challenges. You may have seen a video that Maria did this morning, an email mentioning some of the things that are coming up for us and the I Am Possible marketing team. And today I want to talk to you about one specific thing that we are doing in the coming months, which is a challenge to sell our Challenge Quick Start Academy. So I'm going to walk you through just a brief overview of what a challenge is, and then the challenge process. And then I'm going to show you a calculator that we have inside of the High Ticket Toolkit that basically allows us to know whether or not a challenge is going to be profitable or not based off of historical data or based off of what we know about how we convert or industry averages or whatever. It's super useful for ourselves and for our clients when they say, I want to do a challenge and I want to sell this thing after that challenge. We go through this calculator and we figure out whether or not that's going to be profitable or not, and how much money they can spend to acquire a lead, all that good stuff. So give me just a couple seconds while I make sure we are live on Facebook. All right, beautiful. Hello, Ray. Ray, I always seem to see your face every time I go live. I love it. Okay, so first of all, what is a challenge? A lot of you, if you are in the internet marketing space, you've probably seen a challenge happen a time or two. You may have participated in a challenge, but essentially a challenge is a 3 to, I would say 5 days. Sometimes challenges are like 7 days or 10 days. We don't recommend that anymore, but that used to be a thing like a year or two ago where people would do like 10-day challenges or 14-day challenges. But we know that human behavior and attention span is so short now that we recommend 5 days at the most, and even 3 days. Like if you can get what you need in 3 days, get it and get out, fantastic. Got a weird curl going on today. Okay. So 3-day challenges, I think ours is going to be a 5-day. I think it depends on the price point after the challenge of whatever it is that you're selling. So if you are selling something that is maybe $200, $300, maybe all the way up to $500, a 3-day may be sufficient. So that's enough time to get somebody acclimated to you, your style of teaching or whatever, and then get them excited about the next thing. If it is $1,000 or more, 5 days may be necessary so that they get more time with you and they get more value within those 5-day period. So we've run a couple challenges in the past, our micro offer challenge, and we did it. They're both 3 days. And we were thinking that after this last time we ran it, that it may need to be 5 days moving forward, just given the price point of what we're selling after the fact. So the challenge we have coming up, so look for it. We don't have anything ready for it yet, but the challenge we have coming up is going to be getting you as a digital course creator or online business owner ready for Black Friday, because that's a little bit different than if you were a product-based business selling like something physical in hand. So digital is just a smidge different than product-based. So we're going to have a challenge that gets you ready for Black Friday, Cyber Monday deals. After that challenge, we are going to be pitching our Challenge Quick Start Academy. So we're bearing all our secrets here. So if you watch our podcast and our Fun Funnel Friday, you get an insider look on everything that we're doing as a company. So we will be pitching our Challenge Quick Start Academy, which is basically like challenge in a box, all the things you need to run your own challenge. We believe that it's an excellent time to do that because challenges are huge in the new year. So fitness challenges, new year, new you, new business, new whatever, like everybody wants a fresh start in January. It's probably my largest month that we launch things, January, February, because everybody wants to capitalize on the fact that January and the new year, and I think especially this year or next year, 2021, everybody's going to want to like shed 2020 and start fresh with something new. So I think next year, especially, challenges will be huge. Hey, Joanne, nice to see you too. I have a video for you, Joanne. I haven't pulled it down yet, but we had our inner circle, what's it called, call last week. So remind me, I will pull that down and drop that into the group. Sorry, got a little sidetracked. So anyway, challenges are, they are huge and they're an excellent way to sell your higher ticket items. So something in the like anywhere from $3 to $1,200, $1,500 price point, somewhere in there, a challenge is perfect to sell that. So how do you know whether or not your challenge is going to be profitable? We have a calculator inside of the high ticket toolkit, and I'm going to share that with you. So we can see like the process that we go through when we try and figure out a budget for ads, whether or not something is going to be profitable or not for us at the end of it all. So I'm going to share my screen with you all. Okay. So this is the high ticket toolkit spreadsheet, and you may have received an email this morning that we are opening up our high ticket toolkit for this weekend only. $19.95, you can get in on it. And there's a little Easter egg secret in there that we have an upsell for the Challenge Quick Start Academy for only $197. So the next time you see it, it will be $997. That's not a marketing tactic. We're just testing this process. But at the next time we launch Challenge Quick Start Academy, it will be attached to our challenge, and it'll be $997. So if you are interested in learning more about challenges and how to run them and whatnot, I highly recommend that you buy the high ticket toolkit. You can get it at hightickettoolkit.com. And then the next offer is the Challenge Quick Start Academy for only $197, which is kind of crazy. Okay, so let's go through this calculator. This is inside of the high ticket toolkit. And there's also a few other calculators in here. There's like masterclass, there's a flash open calculator, a high priced offering calculator, and a free challenge to just your warm audience. We're going to use the challenge calculator to warm and cold. So this means we're using Facebook ads as a way to drive traffic as well. So that's what the difference between these two calculators. This one does not have Facebook ads. This one does. Okay. So first thing we want to look at is the price points of everything that we have to sell. So our Tripwire price for a challenge typically is about $27. Although the last challenge we ran, it was $19. So we probably are going to go with 27 and see how that goes for us. The product price. So at the end of our challenge, we'll run a promotion for Challenge Quick Start Academy for $997. So the product price at the end of your challenge is a big contributing factor to whether or not you will be profitable or not. It's just as easy to sell a $300 product as it is to sell a $900 product. I know that sounds crazy, but it's true. People still have the same money hangups for a $300 product as they do for a $900 product. So the price of the product, so long as it can withstand the price point that you're charging for it, like it has enough content and value in there that you can charge more for it, we always recommend that you do. Okay, so at the top, I've got the launch budget. So how much do I want to spend per the launch? So how much do I want to spend to get people into the challenge? And that really depends a lot on how much money I want to make at the end of all of this, right? So I'm going to go through and look at these numbers first. Oh, and then the second one, this is the number of micro offer purchasers. So if you are running a micro offer funnel, we generally put the number of purchasers that you have for your micro offer funnel, because that has a good indication of how many of those people will step up into your next offer. But if you don't have a micro offer funnel, you can just put your list size here too. So like we have a list size of 3,000. Well, it's probably more like 2,600 active users. So yeah, you can just put your list size there. That works too. So the cost per lead is a big driver as to how many people you can actually get into your challenge. An average cost per lead for a challenge is somewhere between $3 and $6. That's a pretty wide range, right? So if I put, say, on the higher end of $6, that changes the number of people that I can get into my challenge based off of my launch budget. So a lot of times what we'll do is we'll come in and we'll throw some numbers in here based off of historical data, and then we will adjust the calculator once we start running ads. So this is not necessarily a set in stone thing. Just because you say, I want to get $4 leads does not mean that you're actually going to get $4 leads. You may get cheaper leads and you may get more expensive leads depending on whether it's an election year or whether something else is going on. Or the content, of your challenge might not resonate or whatever. So the cost per lead, this is a variable number. And usually what we'll do is we'll come back through to our calculator, put our actual cost per lead so that we have a better idea of how many people we're actually going to get into the challenge. So I'm going to put about $5 because I think that was our average cost per lead in our last challenge was about $5. So that changes things a little bit for me. So I can get it about 225 people into my challenge based off of a $1,500 budget. Now, I think we spent, I want to say we spent $3,000 on our last challenge. So I'm just going to throw $3,000 as a launch budget just to give me an idea of what we're looking at. If my tripwire is $27 and it converts at a purchase conversion rate of about 5%, then my tripwire revenue I can expect to be about $600. So I'm going to put $3,000 in and I'm going to get back out $600. Now, if I change my cost per lead, let's say I'm getting $3.50 cost per lead, that's a challenge we're running right now, and that's what they're getting. My tripwire revenue then turns into $867 because I'm getting more people in, and then a conversion rate of the number of people that come in the door. That's how that gets figured out. So what if my purchase conversion rate of my tripwire is more like 7%? So now I'm getting $1,200 to my $3,000 that I put in. So you can see in challenges that we've run in the past for clients that maybe they get 10% conversion rate on a $27 offer, they almost make back their full investment. Not quite, but almost. So you can kind of play with these numbers, but an average like purchase conversion rate for a tripwire is about 5%. So we'll leave that way. And then my purchase conversion rate. So that's the reason why there are 3 columns here, because there's kind of like industry average, which is about 1.5%. And then there's a little bit better than that. So 2.5%, that's if you have a really warm audience. And then 3.5% if you're like on fire and your audience is super hot and people are just loving everything that you are doing for them. So that's what the different conversion rates are. But industry average is somewhere between 1.5% and 2%. So if I am projected to spend $3,000 and my cost per lead is $3.50 and my I can get 643 people in the door. My purchase conversion rate on my tripwire is 5%, and my purchase conversion rate is on the lower end of 1.5% for my $997 product. I can expect to get a total revenue of $10,000 and a total profit of $7,481. So you can see that based off of these numbers, if I'm just doing everything on the lower end of the conversion rate side, I stand to profit $7,481. So that's 249% ROI. Now, what if my product was like $297? What would that look like? So if I'm putting in $3,000 and all of my conversion rates are on the lower end of what the industry averages are, I stand to profit $731. So I'm not super profitable, right? I'm not losing money. I'm gaining people on my list. So those are the plus sides. The downside is that challenges can be a lot of work. And if you are investing all this time and money into running a challenge, you kind of want to make some money, at least some significant money on the back end of it, right? So recently we ran the micro offer challenge, and we ran that into Piggy Bank Funnel Live, and the price point for that was $14.97. So if based off of these calculations, our Tripwire price was $19, and we would have expected to receive 10 purchases. And you know, what's crazy about that is that that's exactly what we received, right? We had 10 people go from challenge into Piggy Bank Funnel Live. It's kind of crazy when you look at it, the numbers, and you go, yeah, that's exactly what happened. That was our price point. We had 10 purchases. We spent about $3,000. So our total profit was roughly around $12,000 for that challenge into Piggy Bank Funnel Live. So kind of cool, right? If you are considering running a challenge and you want to know whether or not you're going to be profitable, this calculator is phenomenal. So like, let's say my price point was like $497. So just under the $500 threshold. And if I'm looking at the lower end of the conversion rates, let's say my cost per lead is like $5 because that's a little bit more in line. What would my profit be? $782 on the low end, and then $5,000 on the high end. So like, let's say my challenge really was on fire and people were like freaking loving it. I could stand to make $5,000. So I could make a lot of money, or potential I could break even and just have added a bunch of people to my list for the next time. So in all of these scenarios, I don't lose money. So that's the good news. Obviously, the not so great part of that is that maybe you make $700, which is not, it's not phenomenal, but at least you didn't lose money. Middle of the road end here is maybe you make 100% return on your investment. So maybe you put in 3,000 and you get 3,000 out, which is kind of cool, right? You get 6,000 out. So you've made 100% of your investment back. So that would be also an ideal situation. Down here at the bottom, this is how we break out our budget. So we've got engagement. So this is basically like Facebook Lives, awareness posts, so that people know that about you, about your company, they will start to know, like, and trust you. So we spend a percentage of our budget there. We also have challenge registration. So we spend the majority of our budget getting people into the challenge. And then we have Tripwire retargeting. So we have just a small budget that goes to anybody that signed up for the challenge but didn't buy the Tripwire to bring them back to the Tripwire. We also have challenge reminder ads. So a very small budget goes to challenge reminder ads so that people remember that they signed up for the challenge. And the best place to do that is right on Facebook, because a lot of times people don't open their emails. And then we have sales retargeting. So about 15 to 16% of our budget goes to retargeting ads after the challenge to get people to sign up for and buy our product. So this is how we break out the budget. And we put the number of days that we're running ads here on the right. And then this tells us what our daily budget should break out to. So if I change this to say $1,500, down here at the bottom, my numbers change a little bit. So my daily budget, like 9, 94, 5, 15, 48. So that's how we use this budget breakdown calculator when it comes to ads. So hopefully this was helpful in deciding whether or not your challenges will be profitable as well. And big contributing factors to this are, what are your costs per lead when you're running ads? So obviously if you're doing organic and emails, you can fill your challenges with your already existing warm audience. So doing your Facebook Lives, getting people to sign up, Instagram stories, that sort of stuff, running email campaigns to get people to sign up for your challenge. So capitalizing off of your existing list, and then also using Facebook ads to bring people in. So these numbers are a blend of what is your existing list and then the people that you bring on. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. We love calculators. We love building them and we love using them because they really do give us a good picture of what we can expect. So it manages our expectation, because you can want $1 million launch all you want, but you need to know your numbers and what you need to spend to get there. So sometimes people are shocked when they hear that, like, oh, I want to make $100,000, and then they're shocked to hear that they have to spend $20,000 to make $100,000. So we don't get to just want and then like not put a budget behind it. So sometimes we're working off of what your existing budget is. If you have $1,000 for ads, we plug that in and we say, okay, based off of your $1,000 for ads, this is what you can expect. Or sometimes we look at it and go, okay, you want to make $100,000 based off of conversion rates that we know in your historical data. This is what you have to spend to make $100,000. So it takes the like emotion out of it sometimes and allows you to see clearly. And what we start with is not what we end with, right? Like we may plug in and we think we're going to get $5 leads, but at the end of it, or maybe like 4 days into running ads, we realize like there's no way we're going to get $5 leads. Today, in this Facebook climate, we are getting $6 leads or something like that. So we'll adjust the calculator to reflect that so that we have a true idea of what we can expect moving forward. So we adjust our expectations and we decide, do we want to spend more money, or do we need to increase the price of something, or do we need to promote something else within the challenge or whatever in order to hit our goals or not lose our shirts or whatever, whatever the case may be. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did not sign up for the High Ticket Toolkit Masterclass the last time we offered it, I highly recommend that you do today. It's $19.95. We're putting it on sale for the weekend. And there's so much good stuff. In addition to this calculator and other ones, there is a offer stacking spreadsheet, which I showcased in another Fun Funnel Friday, which is phenomenal. So it shows you how you can go from 0 to $1 million by offer stacking. And there's a masterclass with Maria and I, which was really amazing. It ran like 2.5 hours long. We decided to keep the whole thing in there because there was a lot of like side conversation that I thought was gold. So we have timestamps for topics in the event that you want to skip straight to a topic that's interesting to you. We had Sally get that done for us. So it makes it easier to consume the content. So pick up the High Ticket Toolkit at hightickettoolkit.com. Man, that is a tongue twister. Hope you guys enjoyed today's Fun Funnel Friday. I have no idea what we're going to talk about next week because I never do until about 20 minutes before I go live. So if you guys have ideas, always drop them onto the page or in our group, and I will be happy to address those. All right, pick up the hightickettoolkit.com, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.